Hi, I'm Tiana Phillips, and I'm doing my persuasive speech on limiting screen times for the younger generations. So, I want you to imagine a world where a 7-year-old's only communication is through a screen. A world where the next generation of adults is children being with the screen as a 24-hour resource. A world where a child's health and development are being hindered because of a screen. Well, this is not just another fake scenario. This is a reality. If we truly care about the future well-being of our society, there needs to be control in order to protect the young minds of this world and their social awareness, such as more downtime, prominent parental guardianship, and communication between other kids and adults. This affects everyone, including the people that we love and cherish. Therefore, it is time we take control before the screens do. Here are several reasons as to why screens for the younger generation is such a worldwide problem that needs to be controlled and/or limited. Researchers have proven that excessive screen time can affect a child's brain and development over time. According to one of the world's leading brain scientists, Patricia Cole, she states, even if you show babies captivating videos, you get genius learning from a live human being, and you get zero learning from a machine. So even though you think that your baby is learning something, they more than likely are not. The World Health Organization recommends no screen time from babies that are under 2 and also no more than an hour at the most for 2 to 4 years old. And also, as reported by the United Nations Children's Fund, otherwise known as UNICEF, but I will call that United Nations Children's Fund. Exposures to screens can also reduce a baby's ability to read human emotions and control their frustrations, leading them to not be able to rely on themselves or other people for interactions or entertainment. Too much screen time can also alter a child's decision-making skills, their morals, and over time they can develop a shorter attention span. Therefore, babies and toddlers need to be bored. It's human nature. If they are always having to be stimulated by something, they aren't going to develop patience, which is very, very important as a growing teen and an adult needs. The United Nations Children's Fund also states that there are certain moments where the parent may need to rely on a screen. Then they need to make sure to control the quality of what they see and make sure to still engage with the child while they're watching. But an article from Jenna Cruz from the Youth First vlog has made a specific strategies list for setting screen times limits, since in this day and technology has become a part of the social norms. Ms. Cruz starts off by saying setting a daily limit and sticking to it not only allows your child to have any electronic devices in their bedroom, and then monitoring the content your child is. Ms. Cruz starts off her Ms. Cruz says setting a daily limit and sticking to it, not allowing your children to have any electronics devices in their bedroom, monitoring the content your child is taking and sending, and creating a phone-free space or spaces can contribute to making a healthy balance between having technology and having free time. So not only can screens and the media affect kids and toddlers and babies, but they can also deeply affect teenagers. It is known that most, if not all, teenagers continuously compare themselves to others, And what makes it worse is when they happen to see someone that is prettier or better at sports, etc. And it gets into their head that they aren't just as good as that person that they'll see on the internet. This could lead to an increase in anxiety, depression, and overall mood issues. However, even though screens provide negative connotations, they can also be a positive. The world is evolving more and more each year. Therefore, kids are going to have to get used to screens. Since this is the case, there can be many alternatives to keeping your child occupied and limiting the amount of screen time they consume. This is where parent or guardian management comes into play. Setting boundaries and schedules as to when the child can be off and on the screen is a good start. Children don't need to make their own rules, so as a parent, you need to be able to say no and not just hand the child the screen whenever they want or whenever they ask. Having fun alternatives such as indoor sports or indoor or outdoor like fun activities to keep your child occupied without having a continuous screen in front of their face can also be very, very beneficial. Also, avoiding using a screen as a way to calm down your kid or your toddler is a very good start. It is so common to see a parent just hand their child their phone as a way to make them quiet. Toddlers whine and cry. It's just what they do. So it won't hurt them just to sit there and cry. My little cousin was born in 2018, so currently he is 6 years old. Ever since he was a baby, it was a social norm to just let him have his iPad or anything that he wanted. And to this day, he still uses his iPad every single day. However, his mother, my aunt, has been limiting his screen time and putting him into all types of sports. I noticed that when he was into sports and finally started them, he became so open-minded and extroverted compared to when all he had was his iPad every day. He was so quiet and he threw tantrums every single time he couldn't get what he wanted. Considering all these negative effects on younger generations having screen time, it is mainly on how parents raise their children. So next time, instead of just throwing a phone or an iPad at your child when they're whining, do some fun activities with them. After all, you are the parent. Or just allow them to cry. It's their nature. For the less motivated, you can still limit their screen activity, but instead of doing activities with them, make the kid go outside and have fun, or have little toys to occupy themselves. Thank you.